Welcome to Charter Local Edition. I'm Tracy Young. Our guest is Don Goey. He's the author of a book entitled Mystic Cool, which asks the question, is your brain wired for wealth, health, and love, or stress and anxiety? Nice to have you with us, Don.
Thank you.
So I noticed Mystic Cool, I kept thinking of Mystic Pizza because I've been there. It's such a great place, but this is something completely different. What does Mystic Cool mean?
Mystic Cool is 4 ways of relating to the world that when they come together, they ignite an attitude that literally rewires your brain for success. It rewires your brain so that you're capable of sustaining peak performance at work. It switches your emotional center to positive. It kicks on neural circuits that make you really great at relationships. And it gives you a relative immunity to stress. It's a prescription for the good life, for a successful life.
How many people, I guess, I'll ask you broadly, are living this kind of a life versus what percent of the population do you think is living a life where maybe we're more focused around stress and anxiety and having a bad day?
Yeah, there's 4 in 10 of us are battling with extreme stress. Another 4 in 10 of us say they're 2, 3 stressors away from joining that group. Only 2 in 10 of us are living that good life.
So how easy is it to transform our lives so we live a different kind of life?
It literally couldn't be simpler. It's really just practicing some very simple things that actually change control of your brain from the lower regions where you're basically anxious to the higher regions. There's a tool. You want me to show you a tool that can make that switch? It's called the clear button. There's a lot of neuropsychology behind this, but we don't have time to go into all of that. But it's a proven approach, and it couldn't be simpler. Imagine that there's a button at the palm of your at the center of your palm, and that you're beginning to stress out. You're beginning to ruminate. You're late for something, whatever. You're stressing out, and you begin to start thinking those stressful, fearful thoughts, and you press this button, sends a biofeedback signal to your lower brain, quiets you down, and that part of your brain that creates stress reactions of 2-year-old intelligence. So you got to distract it like you would any 2-year-old.
Do you have to press anywhere on your palm or just press on your palm?
Right in the middle.
Really?
Dead center. And then what you do is you do it your brain.
The crew's paying attention, so next time I'm stressed, they're going to tell me to press my palm. Okay.
That's right. And you can tell them the same thing.
Okay.
So you press it, and then you want to distract the primitive brain by counting to 3, just like your grandmother taught you, except you distract it even further by seeing each number as a color. So you press it, you take in a breath, you see number 1, you see it as red. Take in another breath, you see number 2, you see that as blue. Take in a 3rd breath, you see that as green, number 3 is green. And then you relax, and most of us won't be able to remember all the stressful, fearful thinking we were doing that was about to catapult us into a stress reaction. And what you do is you just come into the present moment, and you go forward in this calmer way. And what you've done is you've transferred control of your brain from the lower brain to the higher brain, where you'll begin to see solutions. In the lower brain, all you do is ruminate about problems. You switch to that higher brain, those circuits light up, and creative intelligence comes on, and you start seeing answers to your problems instead of just the problem. So
explain to me, when I'm out running, I all of a sudden have these brilliant ideas, and then I come back and all of a sudden I've forgotten so many of them. What happens to us when we change our environment or change our behavior, where sometimes we feel very creative and other times we feel completely blocked? We'll know something and somehow it just doesn't seem to, it won't come to our forethought, or we can't find the words, or we can't find a way to put it down in writing.
Well, the reason that that's happening is that your brain is flooded with stress hormones. Stress hormones knock out memory, they knock out higher brain function. So you could go into an interview and you could be stressed and you have the answer to the question and you forget it, and then you remember it when you get out to the parking lot. That's because by the time you got to the parking lot, the stress hormones weren't impeding your brain. Over years, it damages your brain. The good news is all that damage is reversible. Exercise is one way to do it. When you're exercising, you're pushing more oxygen to your brain.
So are a lot of these things in your book?
Yes, they are.
All right. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us. And next time I'm stressed, the crew is going to make me press my palm. It's a pleasure to meet you, and congratulations on the success of your book.
Thank you.
For Charter Local Edition, I'm Tracy Young. Now back to CNN HLN.
Hello, I'm Congressman Adam Schiff, and I want to tell you how important it is to participate in the 2010 census. In March of next year, you will help determine how much federal funding is distributed to our state and community, which schools receive money for improvements, and where new hospitals and roads will be built. Participation in the census is easy, completely confidential, and required by law. So when you receive the census survey, please stand up and be counted.